Hello again. So we meet here once more and stuff. This video is going to be kind of disjointed as you're watching the video of me working on issue 6, page 5. I did the quick video teaser of it the week ago or so. That's how these updates are going to be placed now. I'm going to do a music teaser for the page I'm working on that I'll be talking about on Tuesdays, and then I will do the actual full-length update on either Thursday or Friday of that week. Now that I'm back on working on issue 6, I can get back into these. The last month has just been a wild ride for one, with the con and everything, trying to get books and working on Kickstarter fulfillment. It's just been so much. I will be hitting on that in the next video, but this one's basically just a wrap-up video for the con I did that was in Des Moines. There will be some pictures on the end of this video. I will talk you through the days and the snaps I took, if you want to follow along on days like that. I'm also inking issue 5 or issue 6. I am posting updates on Snapchat regularly on there. My name is Samurai Ox there as well. But let's get into the wrap-up video. Des Moines Wizard World was a great show. It didn't have to be anything special. I wasn't looking for anything stupendous. I was looking basically to get my name out there a little bit more and help my friend, which I think we succeeded very well. I had a few people come and talk to me that I had met the year before. They wanted to see what I had been working on over this last year, and when they realized that I did quite a few more comics, they immediately scooped them right up, so I felt really good about that. I want to preface this with setting people's expectations at a reasonable level. You can go ahead and think that if you sell out of everything you take with you, you'll be leaving with a couple $1,000 in your pocket, and that's such a great feeling. I don't want you to go that high. The 2 times I've done cons, I've come back with that first year I came back with half of what I took down there. And this last year I came back with about 2/3 of what I took down there. I didn't take a lot this year, just because it was a lot more streamlined, and I had a good idea of how I wanted to adjust some things and work with that. I don't want you to go in expecting to sell nothing, because that's not really realistic either. But I think a nice middle ground where you're gonna make a few $100 should be a good goal to hit. I think making back your table is exceptional. I think if you do that, make back your accommodations, like whatever you have to pay for renting a room, whatnot. Like if you break even for the weekend, I would call it a success. On to that, I don't hear many people discussing like how much everything actually ended up costing them. I think a tank of gas was $60. Rent was for an Airbnb was $90. The table itself was like $420, because we had the corner booth, and then extra wristbands. All in all, I ended up breaking even, which I did a little bit better than breaking even. Like I said in the previous videos, we broke even on Saturday, so Sunday was all pretty much profit. Ended up making a couple $100, so that is solid, especially considering I was just going into it, getting my name out there more, seeing people that had seen the previous year, and then kind of working in those lines. So I think realistically you should hope to make your table back. If you can do that, I think you had a great successful show. I think shooting more than that is exemplary, but I wouldn't expect it necessarily. I also want to talk, it seems to be a lot of things, people talking about art thieves recently, and I'll say this. I think the discussion about art thieves is in the wrong vein. I understand that stealing people's artwork is wrong, especially if all you're doing is throwing a filter on it and selling it as your own. There's two takeaways you can take away that. One, I'd be honored if somebody just took my original characters, threw some filters on it, and like sold it to people. Like if my character designs were out there more and in people's minds, I'd be awesome with that. But I'm small. I'm starting out in the business. I don't really have a name for me, so it would only benefit me. I think the bigger people, the higher names, definitely have something to be concerned about. I mean, they've been working on this for years, sometimes decades, getting their name made, and then somebody comes around and swipes their stuff. They definitely have something to talk about. But me, being in this business for a couple years, I don't really have anything to say about it, just because I see there's a few people within my circles. I see a lot of talk on Twitter about it. I know the people that have really made names for themselves, they're like, whatever, I'll help sell it, whatever, you want to retweet, I'll retweet it. On the other side, there's definitely people that are like, get them banned, burn them at the stake, blah blah blah, all this. But like, I think the whole discussion is discouraging artists from actually just putting their head down and getting the work made. Everyone's worried about people ripping off their work, that they're actually just getting scared to the point where they aren't making the art that would be stolen. And that's the bigger issue. If you're scared of people stealing your art, I don't understand what the whole fear is, because somebody stealing a piece of art, yeah, they've got something that looks good on the wall, but there's not the heart and soul that an artist can actually put into their artwork. My original characters from my comic series, I Never Forgot, you can tell that I put so much heart and dedication into every issue that I make. It's only getting stronger the more I put into it. Along with this, I just don't think a person could replicate those images to give them the great gravitas and weight that I can give them. So I'm not worried if anybody steals my stuff, because it would only benefit me, because it would get my name and my characters out there more. Especially, there's a couple things you should be taking away from these art thieves. You should not only be seeing what artwork they're taking, because they have a good pulse on the marketplace and they know what is working and what is selling. So not only check out what they're selling, but how they're selling. It's clear that they're good salespeople if they think they can buy a $300, $400 table at a ComicCon and show up with a stack of prints and just start selling them. Like, they have to be good salespeople, and I would talk to them about how they're selling to people. I would watch what they're doing and how they're interacting with people and get tips on that. I think worried about them selling your artwork is not the right thing that we should be concerned with. I think we can do better job of getting the work done and making things, and then learning from them how to sell better. Like I said, I had made my table back by Saturday. The con went on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday I really buckled down and I did a lot of work for it. I feel like I could have been more effective at selling if I was in that mode to sell. I didn't realize that I wasn't in that mode until Sunday. Sunday I really buckled down, started pitching it a lot more, my comic series, to a lot more people. Actually had some decent sales. Along those veins, I also wasn't paying attention to what people around me were selling comics for. A lot of people are selling comics for $5, $6, $7, but they're the stapled regular floppy copies. Mine actually has a little bit more work, it's a little higher quality, it's trade paperback, 48 pages, perfect bound. It's just a little bit higher quality, but people aren't willing to chip out that couple extra bucks until you pitch it well to them. I think the trade for issue 1 through 4 is a nice culmination of that, because it brings the price down to a nice price. People think they're getting their money's worth for it, and it's just in a nice little nook of the marketplace. Because if people are walking in there with $100 to spend on comics and toys and whatnot, you don't want to be thinking that you can take a quarter of that. So I think a $15 price point is a solid price point for that. Well, I also noticed that the friend I was tabling with was selling prints. They were 8x10 prints of like her pencil charcoal sketchings that she did, and the guy across the aisle was selling 8x10 prints for $5 a piece. So we didn't even realize that till Sunday. She had made her table back by Saturday, but we realized that price point was right across the aisle and people were buying from him. She noticed that, realized it, changed her price, did a lot better for herself on Sunday, and I think that was a turning point for her. I think that once she started selling a little bit more, she started enjoying the process a lot more. I wish we had noticed it earlier, because then she would have been a lot happier going into Sunday. But I think once we both buckled down and really hit it hard, it really made up for it. So also a thing that hurt me, I didn't get my books until Friday, almost an hour before the show started. So all Friday I was just flipping through books to make sure there weren't any misprints and whatnot, making sure the books that I had gotten at the show I would want to put out and I would want to sign them and put my name on them. So that killed my Friday, which really sucked because I mean there was nothing I could do about it. Let's see, what else? Some surprises. I think my buttons were priced just a little too high. I think a lot of buttons that at the show were about $1. You can get a deal on them for $5. I have mine set for $2 or 3 for $5. Mine are 2¼ inch buttons. Most at the show are about 1.5 inch buttons. So mine are definitely on the bigger side of the scale, but I think they have to be a lot better, and considering I wasn't really going into the show trying to sell buttons, the focus isn't there, so have something to flip through for people to flip through, so I can at least grab their attention and pitch them my comic and sketches and prints and other things like that. Another thing that surprised me was my sketches. I had gotten a portfolio and put all my warm-up sketches in, and actually sold a couple handfuls of sketches to people. I think those probably ended up doing the best. I wasn't putting too much on. They were warm-up sketches. I was just practicing some things. Put about $15 on a sketch, and they did well. A lot better than I thought they would. I also did prints. I only sold a couple, but that's because the quality of my prints again is higher. I have archival quality paper with archival quality ink, so if you put them in a frame, the color's gonna last. You can have those for years and years and years, and you won't ever have to worry about them fading and whatnot. But to achieve that quality, it's a little bit more expensive, and where you see cons, you'll see prints for $10, $15, and my newer ones are set at $25, so it's hard to compete on that level unless something really grabs somebody's attention. Also you have that whole issue of Across the Way. They were much more competitively priced, and it's hard to compete on that level when you just don't have much to lose. Talking about this page a little bit more, this is page 5 of issue 6. I am now doing the inking process for my Patreon. For the pencils, they're open to everyone on my Patreon, but these inks are going to be closed just to my Patreon patrons. If you want to check those out, it'll be the spreads for the month of June. More than welcome to scope those out. I posted the first spread Friday, the second spread of page 3 and 4 will be going up Monday, 5, 6 on Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every week for the month. I think it's turning out really well, and I can't wait to share more of these pages. I don't think I'm going to be recording any more pages being worked on, just because I have these first pages done and those are included in issue 5, so I kind of want people to be surprised with issue 6, especially since I'm just now getting issue 5 out to people. I think if people want to know about the direction and the look of these inked pages, they're definitely willing to chip in at least $1 for Patreon. And it helps me get a new scanner, so I'm not spending a whole day working on getting scans stitched together. Let's go into pictures for these cons. This was a week prior to the con. This was our first time setting up. We threw together a quick table at a local bar, did some good sales, and got into the mode. We got lanyards, so we were official at the show. Probably my favorite thing. You can't see this really well, but there's a statue of Tekken fighters, and I thought those were people the entire weekend. Shredder's Roadrunner, because I'm a muscle car guy. The DeLorean was there. He had it lit up when I had pulled in Thursday night to set up, and it was looking awesome. The Jurassic Park Explorer was there as well. We also had our very own dragon there. I wish I would have gotten a picture without the cloth over his face, but you can definitely tell it was toothless. It was an awesome statue. I wish I would have gotten more pictures. That first day con, there was an awesome cosplayer, Rogue and Gambit. This is an overview after the first day was done. You can see everybody's page. This was me numbering those acrylic cards, so I knew what to send to Kickstarter backers and whatnot. The issue 5 and the trade showed up. I was flipping through most of them. Basically the collapse of day 1. Day 2 started. Trey Baldwin, such a rock star. I will include a link to his stuff down below. Check out his stuff. He was at Wizard World last year, and it was across the aisle. A bunch of these cosplayers stopped and talked to us each day. It was just awesome to get caught up with them as they were doing their things. Also with issue 5, I do little sketches. I have this little area, and I think that works well for it. Doctor Strange. This was such a badass cosplay just because that twirler thing was like from my childhood, and it just added so much.
Oh, you can dance it up.
That was an awesome cosplayer. He had a suit, looked like a robot riding a bear. It was so much fun. I think he was annoying people by the end of the day, but every time he came by I would dance with him just because it got him in the mood to enjoy the con just a little bit more. A few more awesome cosplayers. My buddy's band actually showed up, or they're doing a show the week afterwards. I'll talk a little bit more about that. So they're Dogs of Neptune. I'll throw a link down below. If you like hard rock, I definitely suggest checking them out. Also, we have a local eatery called Zombie Burger, which is an overindulgence of sorts. Like, they have everything from like mac and cheese buns to poutine, which is amazing. If you've never had poutine, I'd highly suggest it. This is just wrap up of the day. Doctor Strange is so fucking cool. Day 3, this guy was carrying this painting around the whole day. Goku versus Superman. A couple friends that hadn't done a con yet were asking for pictures, so I got a couple pictures of a couple people's booths. Me with my backdrop. This was basically my setup. My comics were spread out, my sketches next to it, and then on that front table I had prints set up. Finally got home later that day and Space Bullet had arrived. I will be doing a review of this comic on this channel, so you look forward to that. And the con had come to a close. Monday, my books finally showed up, but it was after the con, so it was kind of a moot point. If you're looking forward to any of my comics, you can get issue 1 through 4 at a reduced price. Issue 5 up there as well. And you can even pick up the trade on my Big Cartel site. Link are down below for everything I talked about. If you want to follow me on Snapchat, go ahead. You can see the continuation of me working on issue 6. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I appreciate it so much. Like I said, my Patreon's up and rolling. I'm showing off the inked pages of issue 6, talking a little bit about them. I will be back later this week with another update, so thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later.